Hi, this is Derek from seca, and today I'm going to talk about the gold standard in physician scales, the seca 777 family, and how it compares to the Healthometer 500KL. From ergonomics, handling, construction, quality, these reasons and many more I'll present to you today and show you why the seca 777 is the clear, better choice. Let's start with taking a look at the platforms of the scales. This is a very critical part, as this is the part of the scale that patients come first in contact with. So when I look at the surface of the seca scale, I see that it has a nice slip-proof surface that still allows me to clean it easily and also disinfect it. Looking at the 500KL, it has a much finer surface, it's not as slip resistant, and also cleaning it is not as easy as this fine pattern can trap germs, bacteria, and viruses much more easily. When I look at the side of the platform of the seca 777, it also has pre-drilled holes, so I can add on a handrail very easily, whereas with the 500KL I have to drill holes into the platform to add on their handrail. Also, the column attachment extends over the platform, creating a trapped space for more germs and bacteria. And again, this is one single piece for easy cleaning. And also, the column sits further back on the seca scale as compared to the 500KL. Why is that important? Patients with a somewhat larger girth have more space from the platform to the column, so using the seca scale is much more comfortable for them as well. One thing to note that's very important is also the stability of the scales. When the patient approaches and gets on the scale, they want to feel safe, comfortable, something that's not going to give out from under them. If I step on the 500KL on the side, I see that it wobbles, it almost tips over from both sides. If I do the same thing on the seca scale, step on the side with all my weight, the thing doesn't move. So I can imagine someone that's a little bit weaker and stable, they feel much safer using the seca scale. Why is it more stable? It's because of the construction. So I think it's good to take a look under the hood of each scale, and I'll show you why the seca scale is much more stable. So when we take a closer look under the scale's platforms, I see with the seca scale, the entire under part is made of metal. As we saw when I stepped on the sides of the scale, it did not tip over. And this is the reason for that. Also, the feet are wide, made out of rubber, which increase the stability of the scale as well. If we compare it to the 500KL, we see that only part of the base is metal and the rest is a thin plastic. Again, we saw when I stepped on the sides of the scale platform, the scale wanted to tip over. Well, it's clear. Also, the scale feet are much smaller, made out of hard plastic. Can't really support the scale itself. The next thing we need to take a look at are the wheels of the scale. Although the column scales are typically used in a stationary environment, it's important that they can be easily transported between clinical settings. If I take a look at the seca 777, the wheels are nice and wide set, coated in rubber, which makes transport over any surface, hard or carpeted, a snap. When I look at the 500KL, I see that the wheels are very close to one another. They're small, and they're made out of hard plastic. And I'll show you in just a moment how difficult it is to transport the scale. So when transporting the seca 777 scale, I have a handle in the back of the scale head that easily allows me to grip it, tip it back, and I can even take sharp corners. I feel the rubber-coated wheels. Everything is rolling smoothly. I can't hear it. Rolling this thing is a breeze. Corners are no problem. I can do this on a carpet. Transport, like I said, is easy. When transporting the 500KL, first I start and I'm looking where I should even grab the scale to move it. There's no handle in the back, so I'm forced to, I guess, take it by both sides here and hold it this way. And it already feels wobbly, unstable. And I can see that the narrow wheelbase is already allowing, if I come into a maneuver where I can tip easily, it tips over. So sharp corners, carpeted surfaces, they're not meant for transporting this scale. So a major contributor to the stability of the seca 777 is the single piece column. When I compare it to the 500KL, I see here that it comes in two pieces. These are snapped together during assembly. And as we can see, this is a pretty new scale. It's already wobbling when I just touch it. When I look at the measuring height rods of both scales, I see when I look at the head pieces, the seca version is wider and longer. This is easier to measure a patient's height. When I raise the measuring rods, I see a clear difference as well. This one comes also in two pieces. Seca comes in a single piece. Again, more stability. Also, when I let go, this falls down. It could fall on the patient's head. The seca version is clearly more stable, stays up when I need it to, and easily lowers to measure the patient. A very important aspect for the clinical user is the display of the scale. This is where they see the patient's measurement, and it's nice to have something good to look at. So that's the case with the seca model. When I turn it on, I see that I have very nice large digits that are easy to read at a nice angle. Compared to the healthometer version, somewhat small, glossy, it's not as easy to read. I also only have 4 buttons for the main features that I need on the scale. When I press them, I also notice the scale stays in place. Compared to the healthometer version, when I press these, the scale moves away from me. Again, showing the stability of the scale. Another key advantage of the seca 777 family are the options and features that meet any clinical height and weight measurement needs. For example, visual ergonomics. We thought of that. On each 777 model, we can put the display on either side of the scale as we see here. So I have the option, depending on where the scale is standing, to put it on the left or right side. Also, the seca 787, in this case, features a digital height rod. And I see that directly in the display, my height measurement. Here I have the full featured seca 797. I see that the handrail has been retrofitted onto the scale, and the scale also includes a wireless interface and is ready to integrate into the patient's medical record. So, for the reasons that we pointed out today, it is clear that seca has set the gold standard in physician column scales. From stability to ergonomics, ease of use to the options and features, this is the clear choice over the 500KL. And you may think, this must cost a lot to have such a nice scale. But the seca 777 costs roughly the same as the healthometer 500KL. So I thank you for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.